Welcome to Real Estate Investing for Professional Men and Women, the podcast that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth. Here's your host, Gary Wilson.
Hello, everyone. This is Gary Wilson, and welcome to this week's podcast, Real Estate Investing for Professional Men and Women. We got a great guest today, Bill Heinrich. But before we get that to there, just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. It's on any one of, maybe 75 different channels, iHeartRadio. They're all out there, and we'd love to have you on board. Also, if you want to be part of the community, just go to myinvestmentservices.com and check out, just grab all the free stuff you can get. There's lots of free information, and you can be part of the community. It's other people like me, professionals. We invest, we just do it like honorably and ethically and profitably, of course. We improve the areas, everybody wins. But also we support each other, help each other. And we've got all these agents that I've trained all over the US and Canada, thousands of them, over 600 cities and towns that we've trained specifically to serve you and I, so we can take some of our hard-earned income from our businesses and apply it to passive income through real estate. So anyways, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Bill Heinrich. Bill and I go back several years. We were part of a mastermind group together, and I got to know him. We also have similar backgrounds as far as what company we've helped. As far as brokerage goes, we've been involved in Keller Williams Real Estate, and just a lot of coinky dinks along the way. And I'm like, boy, this guy's like we're brothers from another mother. So Bill, welcome aboard, man. I appreciate you taking your time to do this.
Thanks, Gary. Great to be here. Good to speak with you again. Yeah, we haven't seen each other for a little while.
That's right. Hey, if you wouldn't mind, Bill. Some people are probably already familiar with you because of the work you've done, but if you wouldn't mind, for those who are, just kind of paint a picture of, who is Bill, and then within that context, a lot of the content will probably make a lot more sense,
Okay, well, I'm a high-level business coach. I show clients how to double, triple, and 10x their income. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've spent, to give you a little of my background, I have over 50 years entrepreneurial experience. But I've spent the last over 25 years now on my own personal transformation, and that has now blossomed into my coaching business. Again, I have clients all around the world, work with CEOs, celebrities. I've just written a new book called The 7 Levels of Truth. Mm-hmm. And what I found out is this, is if you really want to make changes in your life, now, I don't care if it's business, Gary, personal life, I don't care what it is. It only has to do with your inner game, what's going on inside of you, okay? And most people, the vast majority of people are not living. What they're doing is trying to get to death safely. Mm. They aren't living because they don't know how to live. The reason they don't know how to live is because, frankly, everyone's living with blindfolds on. We don't know who we are, and it's just pretty confusing. And I'm able to show people who they are, what their purpose is, and how to express it, and it changes their life instantly. Then I show them how to integrate it.
Awesome.
So where do you want to go with that?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I know personally what you're talking about, because it is applicable to every area of your life. Some people call them environments, like your body is an environment, your mind is an environment, your home is an environment, your relationships. And when you really build it, like success is an inside job, and who you are as a person, there's a higher level you. And when you realize that, and you meet that person for the first time, it's an astounding thing. And then you realize, my gosh, I now can put my mind to work for me.
We're going to go a little different direction, okay? Our minds, everybody talks about mindset, okay? Mm-hmm. Mindset is only an exercise in resistance, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. That's what mindset is.
Okay.
You're forcing yourself to take another position, to do something, to achieve a result. You're going against the grain. You're going against who you are when you work with mindset, okay? You referred to our environment and everything. What it really comes down to is this. 2 things. Only 2 things. Understanding the difference between these 2 things. The physical and the non-physical. Now, People go, what do you mean the non-physical? Everything's happening in the non-physical. There's nothing going on in the physical. The physical is static. We make up. Our reality isn't even true. It's made up because it's coming from us and our past experience. And we have stories inside us that don't support who we're really supposed to be. And we change and protect and do all these things, and it alters our reality, and it isn't real, right?
Mm-hmm.
The non-physical is very simple. It's the universe. It's a vibration. That's all it is. Everything's a vibration. Now, when you look at it from a vibration standpoint, that means how do you feel and what energy are you putting into the world?
Mm-hmm.
That is where your purpose is. You know, our life, I show people how to live their life purpose. Your life purpose isn't what you do. It's not what you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy you do it with. That's your life purpose. So it doesn't matter if you're a garbage man or you teach people how to invest in real estate or you're a coach. It's the energy that you're putting out. And the more you understand who you are and what your 7 divine gifts are, it's easier to move that energy. And when you're moving that energy, you're connecting to the universe, the non-physical, not the physical. And then what shows up in the physical is a manifestation of your energy. So if you're angry, what shows up in the physical in front of you?
Oh, yeah. Red.
More anger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's all about the energy. So don't worry about the physical. What's going on in the physical doesn't matter because whatever's going on is going to happen. It's the energy you bring to it. You know, you work with investors. Money is energy.
Mm-hmm.
Money's a reflection of what's going on inside of them. And when you're living your purpose, the only energy and the only result you can have is abundance. That's all you can have is abundance, prosperity, right? You know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing. So I've worked with clients who were investors, and because of what was going on inside of them, they were investing because they knew they had to invest, but they were investing not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
It's not a good game plan.
It's not a good game plan. But you see, they were out of control. They didn't know they were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because of stories and beliefs inside of them. And it just became evident. And he was like, he was in shock. He's like, I said, well, there it is. There's the proof. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Then he was able, it just changed his whole life. Anyways, what questions do you have? I'm just I can take off pretty fast here.
Yeah, I really like where this is going. So let's just talk about that, like playing not to lose versus playing to win. So, and I really hate to use the word playing because life to me is such a precious gift. And I wake up every day and I'm thinking, if things will happen today that bring a smile on my face, things will happen today that, might make some people frown. But the fact is, my heart's beating, my lungs pumping, my mind's working, I can walk, and I'm just going to enjoy the day. And I learned to be grateful for things, even that in the past would have caused me great distress. I'm like, every experience is a reflection of what's going on inside of you, but it also gives you an opportunity to learn and grow. And probably, the old saying, in every adversity there's opportunity, and I get all that. But back to the original statement, the difference between playing not to lose and playing to win is two totally different sources of energy. And one of them is scarcity based, and one is abundance based. So if you can kind of dig into that a little bit.
Well, you're right. However, it happens and it gets generated because of what you were just speaking about, and that is we all have lessons to learn. You see, we all have life lessons. Okay. And what I found in this time of transformation, intense 25 years, on my own personal transformation that still continues today, because we're in a process. You're always in a process of learning something new. You're always in a process of growing. And we're here to learn lessons. We all have life lessons to learn. And when we have life lessons to learn, here's the most important thing to remember. If you have a lesson to learn, that means you don't know something about that. Is that correct? You're going to learn something.
Yeah.
So until you learn that, and if it's a life lesson, you have a blind spot. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
if you have a blind spot, this is why you have friends that just have trouble with money. You have other friends that have trouble in relationships. You have other friends that are always chasing the bright, shiny objects, right? It never ends. They have a different story. It looks a little different, but they're doing the same thing again and again and again. It's because of the lessons and the stories inside of us. And it's because of that people end up investing not to lose without their awareness. This is not what their intention is it, Gary, when they go into it?
Right.
They're into, hey, Gary's program is great. I'm learning a lot from him. But the little voices inside about, like I have one client I work with who, as a child, something happened, and he had a story inside himself about betrayal. Everything he did and everybody he dealt with, what do you think he protected himself against without even his awareness?
Yeah, most people don't want to be found out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason they don't want to be found out is because they don't know what to do with what the hell's going on with them, right? So this is what I do for people is I literally show them who they are. And once you have this information, what's fascinating is people are dying for responsibility. Now everybody works from a position of accountability. Now, there's a huge energy when you're talking about investing to win or not to lose. Accountability would be investing not to lose. Okay. Accountability is answering to something outside of you. Responsibility is stepping in and taking over a property. And if it's me, it's like, okay, this property is going to be freshly painted. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be very responsible and have a nice property at a fair rent, right? Not, I need to get an extra $5 out of it. I need this. I missed this number over here and I'm driving. Do you see what's happening? Is my energy's moving away from my heart, and it's moving into the physical, into the materialistic. And whenever you're going there, when you look at the physical and the non-physical, it's pretty simple. In the there's only two emotions, base emotions, right? One is love, the other is fear. Everything either comes from love or fear. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. When you look at the physical and the non-physical, you go, the physical can only create fear. The non-physical can only create love. What does love look like? See, we don't know what it looks like because it's an emotion that gets expressed in many different ways, right? See, so you're coming more from the inside. The head is always in the physical. The heart is always in the non-physical. The head is figuring things out. The head is logic. The head is what the ego uses to convince you that something's okay. Your heart just tells you the truth. How do I feel about this? Something's not right. Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah. Hey, what's interesting too is, there's things you really hard to define. You just can't define. There's a famous saying from St. Francis, which is, for those who believe, no words are necessary. For those who don't, no words are possible. So like something like faith, I love you. It's not like you can define it. You just have to choose to experience it. And well, like for me, when I realized that the basic form of energy in the world is actually love, and everything's vibrating. By the way, if you really study this scientifically, I'm not.
You don't have to study very deeply to see that everything's a vibration.
That's exactly right. You could take a piece of a rock or concrete out there on the sidewalk, bring it under a high power microscope, and you'll see every little molecule is moving. And we're all tied together. So I know, like in a state of meditation, I've experienced it myself, and people say you find yourself in that field of vibration. It's like you're not really a separate being anymore. You're part of everything, and everything.
You never were separate. You just think you are. Your head tells you are. Your heart doesn't. Your heart says you're part of. Yeah. See, the universe, Gary. Everybody, like, I used to think that I was the center of the universe. This is what got me going into personal transformation, because I just couldn't stand being with me anymore. And I had to find out who I really was and why I was so miserable. And as I looked at this, first thing I come to realize is, okay, wait, there's a universe.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is part of the universe. We're part of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
The universe runs all, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
universe runs on 7 simple laws. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
the first 3 are fixed. You can't change these. 1, everything, it's called the law of mentalism. Everything comes from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is thought creates. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the law of gravity. The second one is the law of correspondence. As above, so below. Body, mind, spirit are in the same energetic vibration. They're in
Mm-hmm.
alignment. Okay. And then the third one, which is the most important one, is everything's a vibration. The universe is in a constant state of organic expansion. You want to grow your investment business, just hook into the energy of the universe. Everything's expansion. What we do is we block it. We block the energy. That's the way the universe works. Then there's 4. Those first 3 are fixed. The next 4 are transcendable. You can change them. The law of rhythm. What flows in, flows out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You want something different to flow in, flow something different out, and you'll like attracts like. Right? The law of gender. There's masculine and feminine in everything. The law of cause and effect. For every cause, there's an effect. Every effect has a cause. People think that's the law of attraction, but
Mm-hmm.
the law of attraction doesn't even really exist. And I'll tell you about that. The next one is the law of polarity. There's duality in everything, hot
Mm-hmm.
and cold, right? And that's the way the universe works. Those 4 are transcendable. Rhythm, polarity, gender, and cause and effect. You transcend those with your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the vibration. It's not
Yeah.
about what's going on in the physical. It's about how we react to it from the inside. That's what makes all the difference. And you can take that energy and literally manifest miracles in front of your eyes
Mm-hmm.
coming from your energy, because you're coming into it with love, not with fear. And I'm losing something and in the survival game, and you know, there's only one winner, and all that stuff that's a life of suffering.
If you're anything like me, listening to good advice is helpful and inspiring at the same time. But having a reference guide at your fingertips is invaluable when I sit down to do serious planning. That's why if you go to the website, myinvestorservices.com, at the very top of the page, actually sort of near the middle, you'll see 5 different guides on 5 different aspects of real estate. All these are free, and all of them can help you impact your bottom line. Just check it out. Go to myinvestorservices.com, right smack in the middle, click on any one you want or all 5 if you want. What's interesting too is early on you mentioned abundance. I want to, if we have time, if we can dig into abundance a little bit, because when you understand the principle of the fact that everything is a vibration, you understand that abundance is absolutely, it's omnipresent. Everything is in a state of abundance.
Here's the most startling fact about abundance.
Mm-hmm.
See, and you had mentioned before, I don't remember specifically what you were talking about, but you're talking about being it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what this is. It's about being it, not being it in the physical so people can see it, being it on the inside so people can feel it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And abundance is the outcome when you're moving this energy. The universe, and we're going to come back to abundance. When you make a request, when you want something, do you know that it's impossible for the universe not to deliver it to you? It has to give it to you. It has no choice. It doesn't think. It doesn't use logic. Have you been naughty or nice? None of that. It's just a vibration. So only you are going to block that which you desire. Mm-hmm. Think about it. You're the one that's blocking it. You go to the vibration and boom, it has to show up, right, Gary?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we block it. It's like the universe only says no. It never says no. The universe only says KNOW. I need to know the vibration of what you want. And that's what abundance is, Gary. It's a vibration. When you speak to somebody that's abundant, they won't speak about money. Money isn't a part of abundance. It's a byproduct. Mm-hmm. Abundance is there's plenty of everything for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is nothing but abundant.
Yeah.
Ask and you will receive.
Yeah.
It will come. There's nothing to fight for. You just have the flow of energy. In business, what the most important thing that the one thing that most people don't understand about business, and the most important aspect of business for somebody, so for investors, when they're looking at properties or anything, the number one aspect that you always want to see is mutual appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Without mutual appreciation, you have a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's protecting something. If
Yeah.
you see that appreciation is there, it's very easy then to come to a meeting of the minds. But that's an abundant way of looking at things.
Right.
Abundance, potential, power are all in the non-physical.
Yeah.
None of them are physical, are they?
Nope.
So how would you explain abundance, the non-physical aspect of abundance?
It's to me, it's like faith and love. It's how do you define it? You have to experience it. To me, like when I wake up, I look around. I mean, if there's beautiful world out there, the planet that we're given, God gives us. And by the way, it's constantly growing. So people who say,
it's always changing.
It is. The whole thing about we're going to run out of this, run out of that. I don't think so. I mean, this is a wonderful, magical place. It seems to always be able to self-correct, and it's always growing. I mean, look at the worst fires in California. Within a matter of months, you got brand new, green, fresh sprigs of growth coming up. So I just it's renewing, replenishing all the time, and within that context, that's like the framework. So that's the non-physical, and then from that understanding, that principle of abundance, yes, you can recognize and understand and see other things and relationships and money and fuel and food and air and everything else. So that's my simple fly Gary Wilson explanation.
Yeah, it's all an inside job. It's like here's something that people are always looking at in the physical, yet there's always challenges in their life with, and that's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling safe. We understand what it feels like to feel safe in the physical,
mm-hmm.
but we don't understand what it feels like to feel safe on the inside. And this is all starting to come out now with the different women's movements and all the different things going on. People are realizing that they don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real, and safety is like abundance.
Mm-hmm.
It's that knowing you have and the trust you have inside yourself. It's all an inside game. It's amazing how fast things change.
Mm-hmm.
There's a talk I give, there's a talk that I give to real estate agents.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pretty good. The title of it is How I Sold a House While It Was on Fire. Well, this is something that actually happened. And the reason that I have that talk is because it happened. People go, whoa, but it shows exactly what I teach today. Because when this happened was back in 1981. It was almost 40 years ago. It was at Lake Tahoe. I was sitting at an open house and a person came in. I was talking to them and I had the perfect listing, exactly what they were looking for, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
I got them in the car, drove them down there. It was a condo garage on the lower level, 3 stories. You walk up into the living room. We got in the living room. I said, something isn't right. I said, wait here. And I went upstairs and there was a fire up on top of the stairs. The place was on fire, right?
Oh boy. Wow.
Literally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is how long ago it was. I went downstairs. I had to go over to the wall and get the telephone, the one with the cord.
Yeah.
I called the fire department, right? And said, hey, there's a fire here. Boom. I looked at my client. I said, there's a fire. We have to go outside, right? This is a true story. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes later, the fire department shows up. They go in. They're taking care of the fire. I'm standing there with my client. And I said, I know you didn't see the whole thing, but what did you think of what you saw?
Yeah.
And she says, I really liked it. I said, listen, tremendous deal for you now because you're going to have all the insurance money to remodel that. Why don't we go down and write it up? The fire department was still inside. She's like, yeah, let's go write it up.
Cool.
And so that's how I sold the house while it was on fire.
Yeah.
But I just went with the flow. You see, when we go against the energy, we were talking about mindset before. When you go against it, and you know that, this happens to us every day. When you notice the energy isn't like, okay, how do I take care of myself and handle this appropriately? But I'm not going to force it. Because with power, you don't force things. You look for the energetic flow. And when you have it, like I know you get tapped into it a lot, Gary. We've talked quite a bit. You have it and you just go with it.
Yep. Yeah.
And one of the most important things, and I know that the people that watch your show and have worked with you notice, is they get your authenticity, Gary. Like you're the real deal. You're very authentic.
Thank you.
And people can feel that though.
Yeah.
It isn't what you're saying, it's who you're being, right?
Yeah.
And when you're understanding that, and I know that you're very, very, very self-aware, it just changes how you live life. Like challenges are a part of life. We welcome them, right? It's how you get past the challenge determines who you are as a person and how you handle yourself during the challenge.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, I'll tell you what, that leads to the next thing. We're getting close here.
Oh, okay.
But you just this was almost perfect segue when it comes to challenges. I mean, we all have challenges, and when people are feeling like, they know there's something more. They know that there's, like, this is what happened to me when I was 32 years old. Like, there's something more here. It's not just about waking up and working and getting a result. There's more to this thing called life. So when somebody comes to that realization, they realize they need to learn more. How can they get a hold of you? What can you? You've worked with a lot of people with tremendous success, and everybody listen, I know people personally that have worked with Bill. But a book they can read, a podcast, a website.
Let me tell you a few things.
Okay.
Number one, I have a couple different coaching programs and a book I'll tell you about.
Okay.
But the first thing I want to tell you about the success my clients have. Okay. I'm the only business coach in the world that gives a 100% money back guarantee. I guarantee the person's success. Now think about that. That's quite a claim. No one's ever asked for their money back. My website is True Life Purpose Now. True Life Purpose Now. If you want to get truelifepurposenow.com. I do have a group coaching program. I have an individual coaching. If anyone would like a free coaching session, they can get in touch with me. My email is thedivinepurposeguy@gmail. thedivinepurposeguy@gmail.com. And I have a book about everything I do in coaching. It's called The 7 Levels of Truth. And I've just come out with this. It is available on Amazon, and you can get it at my cost. And this includes shipping. It's like on Amazon, I think it's $18. If you go to book.truelifepurposenow.com, you can get the book at my cost, like $8.
Okay.
I'm having a giveaway on it. So those are the way that people can get a hold of it.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope everybody listening will take you up on this. And if you could, we've got about another minute, that might be too short, but what can someone expect? Like when you first bring somebody in, like interview process? I mean, is there like a certain...
Well, if anyone wants a free coaching call, I'll take you through what I call an empowerment assessment. Okay. And when we get finished with that, you'll have more clarity about your life than you have ever had, guaranteed. I'll say this, when you get finished with that 1-hour coaching call with me, people say, what's it worth? What you'll say is, it was priceless. It's that good. Like, see, because when I work with a vibration, it's really easy to find the truth.
Yeah.
And people are just looking for the truth, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, I appreciate it. I think I speak for everybody when I say thank you for sharing your valuable time. And you got so much life experience. I mean, in couple industries. And I mean, the stuff, every time I see you, it's like your light shines and everybody around you smiling. So that's always, that's all you can always, my grandma used to say, you can always tell a good person when they attract children and pets, and everybody's happy. It's like there's just a positive person, and you have such a positive influence on people. And everybody listening, take Bill up on this, guys. I promise you it'll be worth it, and you'll be glad you did. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll learn something new quickly. Thanks, Gary. I really appreciate having the opportunity.
You're welcome. And for everybody listening, God bless you too and your families. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. On any of the different podcast channels, Real Estate Investing for Professional Men and Women. You can see this is not your typical, hey, you go buy a duplex and make a lot of money. There's more to it than that. And we actually make sure it fits, and we help you with your businesses related to real estate. So join the community. There's thousands of us out there, and lots of real estate agents are trained to work with you in the material sense, how do you actually get the properties. That make sure you look for a certified investor agent, and make sure you check out Bill. Go to his website and get that book. I just wrote it down myself, 7 Levels of Truth, because I think that's relatively new. So I'm going to get it myself. And you guys, will see you all in the next one. In the meantime, take care and God bless.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Real Estate Investing for Professional Men and Women. Be sure to go to myinvestmentservices.com to join our community and start building wealth today.